I sustain Dandavat Puspanjali, my heart like flowers thousands and thousands of times, at the lotus feet of my holy master, my supremely worshipable spiritual Gurudev, Asmatiya Paramaradatum Guru Pada Padma, Nitya Leela Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtotarasata Sisimat, Rupanuga Acharya, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Secondly, I offer my pranam thousands of times at the lotus feet of my Param Gurudev, to Srila Prabhupada, and to our entire Sri Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Parampara. And finally, I offer my pranam to Pushpat Maharaj and all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Vanchakalpatarubhasya By the God's mercy of Sri Gauranga Gauranga, today we will have the most fortunate opportunity to touch the syllables of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam has achintya shakti, inconceivable power to destroy all ignorance and awaken deep love for Sri Krishna. So today we'll study this verse, 11th canto, chapter 29, text 4. But you can repeat. Kim chitramachyuta tavaitadashesha bandho. Kim chitramachyuta tavaitadashesha bandho. Dasveshwananda sharaneshu yad atma sattam. Dasveshwananda sharaneshu yad atma sattam. Yorocayat sahamrigai swayam ishwaranam. Yorocayat sahamrigai swayam ishwaranam. Srimat kirita tadapiti tapadapitaha. Srimat kirita tadapiti tapadapitaha. That's the sound of the poetry. It's so beautiful. Srimat kirita tadapiti tapadapita. So, this verse is spoken by Uddhav Prabhu. Kim Chitram. It's a question. What is amazing about Achyuta, Sri Krishna? Tavaita Dashesha Bandho, who has such quality. He is Ashesha Bandhu. He is the unlimited friend of everyone. Dasveshwananya Sarneshu Yad Atma Sattvam. That Krishna Yad Atma Sattvam, he surrenders. He becomes subordinate. He gives himself. Dasheshwananya Sarneshu, to those servants who have Ananya Sharnagati, one-pointed shelter of him, he takes shelter of those devotees. What is surprising about that? When Yorocayatsa Mrigaswam Ishwarana, it's his nature. Yorocayat means he took great joy. He felt great pleasure, Sahamriga, interacting with simple animals. Krishna is pleased. He feels joy interacting with the birds, with the cows, with the peacocks, with the bumblebees of Braja. So how is it surprising that he gives himself to his bhaktas who are Ananya Sharnagat, one-pointedly surrendered to him? Because that's his only interest. He's not attracted by wealth, power, or anything. Knowledge, only by devotion. Who is he? Swayam Ishwaranam means of the great demigods, relatively great demigods, who are in charge, in control of the various functions of nature within the universe. Srimat Kirita means their beautiful golden crowns. Tata means the tip, where the crest jewels are. Parita means, can mean shaking, but here it means polishing. Padapita means his footstool. The crest jewels of the crowns of all the powerful demigods in the universe, when they bow down to him, those jewels are polishing his footstool. But that very same Krishna, he feels happiness playing with the birds and parrots, with the cows and deer in the forest of Vrindavan. So this is a very beautiful verse spoken by Uddhav to Krishna directly himself. When Sri Krishna was about to wind up his pastimes in this world, he went to Prabhas with the Yaduvanks. Yaduvanks disappeared. He told Uddhav to go to Badrik Ashram. But Uddhav was so attached to him, from a distance he followed behind. And just when Sri Krishna was about to leave this world, Uddhav approached him, and then Krishna gave very beautiful teachings you find here in the 11th canto. And then he told him, now when I leave, you have to stay here. So Sri Krishna said, Uddhavon vapiman yuno yadguna narita prabho atomad vayunam lokam grahayan hi atishtatu. Grahayan hi atishtatu. Uddhav, you have to stay here. Everyone else, and all the other associates, they became apricot. The residents of Vrindavan, long time before they had gone into the unmanifest Leela, now most of the residents of Dwarka had gone, but Uddhav is Krishna saying to Uddhav, Grahan hiyatishtatu, you have to stay here. Why? That is Krishna's blessing on the world. Krishna is saying, Uddhavan vapimanyu no. Uddhav, you are not even minutely, not even atomically less than myself. So if Krishna will leave this world, but Uddhav is still here, then it's as if Krishna is still here in one sense. Why? Atomad vayunamba lokam. Because you will speak. So mad vayunam. Vayun is air. But this is not air. This is the air of the Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, Srimad Bhagavatam. When Uddhavji speaks Srimad Bhagavatam, if anyone is touched by that air, then they experience that Krishna is there. Therefore Krishna said, Uddhavan vapimanyu. Uddhav is not even minutely less than me. He will stay in this world and he will speak Srimad Bhagavatam. In this way, I will still be present. So Uddhav is very, very beloved of Krishna, very close to Krishna. Krishna said, Na tatha me prayatama atma yoni na shankara na sankarshana na shri mamat vaiva tatha yatha bhavan. Uddhav, no one is as dear to me as you. Although the Brahma, who is born from my navel, is not as dear to me as you. Lord Shiva, who is one with me, Hari Hara Ekatva, they're like one soul. Shiva is not so dear to me. Even Lakshmi Devi, my own internal potency, the goddess of fortune, is not so dear to me. Even Sankarshan, my brother, is not so dear to me. Amatvacha Yatha Bhavan. Krishna said, oh Uddhav, even my own Atma, my own soul is not as dear to me as you, Uddhav. Vrishninam Pravaro Mantri Krishna Syadaita Sakha. Uddhav is Krishna's Sakha, friend. So here, there are so many words for friendship in Sanskrit, like Maitri, like Surit. But Sakha means one who knows one's heart and enjoys pastimes together, understanding very confidential things. So we see that Uddhav, knowing the heart of Krishna, he was Pravara Mantri, his best advisor. Perhaps you know, some time before all this happened, once see, Krishna was in Dwarka and a messenger arrived there. And that messenger, he announced his message. It was prayers of so many kings, thousands of kings who had been captured and imprisoned by Jarasandha. And they had taken shelter of Sri Krishna and begging for his mercy. So, this messenger relayed the message to Krishna that Krishna should come and save those kings from the prison of Jarasandha. Just after that, Narad Muni arrived. And Narad Muni came with the message, Yudhishthira Maharaj is requesting you, can you come to Indraprastha because Yudhishthira Maharaj will perform the Rajasuya Jagya. So now Krishna has two invitations. What should he do? So then he'll have to turn to Vrishninam Pravaro Mantri, his advisor, his minister, very wise Uddhav. So Krishna turned to Uddhav. Now Uddhavji, he said, Gayanti te vishadakama griheshu devyo ragyam swashatru badam adva vimochanam cha gopyascha kunjarapate janakatmajaya pitrascha labda sharanam munayo vayam cha. Uddhav said, the queens of those kings who are in prison, they're all in their homes. And they're loudly singing your glories. Who else is singing your glories? Just like the sages sing your glories. How you saved Gajendra from the grip of the crocodile and gave him devotional service. Janakat Majaya, how you saved Sita by killing Ravana, and then Sita attained her devotional service to Lord Ramachandra. How Vasudeva and Devaki, the rishis, would have said, and myself also, we sing the glories, how you killed Kamsa and saved your parents Vasudeva and Devaki from prison and gave them your devotional service. And the gopis also sing your glories. So in the same way, the wives of those kings, they are singing. Oh, Krishna here is saying, Ragyam swashatru bhadam atvavimochanam cha. Krishna will kill the enemy, Jarasandha, and release our Atma. That means so many meanings. One is, we'll be free from the separation from our husbands. All our husbands are like Atma and they will be released from the prison. Or, by singing the glories of Krishna, we, his devoted servants, he releases our Atma, liberates us from material existence. So in this way, Uddhav, he gave advice to Krishna. So there are so many deep meanings in this. First of all, he's saying, don't go to the Rajasuya Yagya of Yudhishthira Maharaj. Go first to Jarasandha. Why? Because for Yudhishthira Maharaj to perform Rajasuya, all the kings of the world will have to give tribute to him. So Jarasandha will not give tribute. And all the kings in the prison, they won't be able to give tribute either. So if you go and kill Jarasandha, then all those kings will be free and then they can give the tribute. And then you go to the Rajasuya Yagya afterwards and it will be successful. That's one thing. How are the wives of those kings singing about Krishna? They've heard from rishis. Rishi means mantra drasta, one who can see mantra. Ordinary person thinks mantra is a sound. But the rishis, they don't think like that. They know that the mantra is one deity, That's called the Shabda Archa. There's the Archa Vigraha, the deity in the temple, and there's the Shabda Archa, the sound incarnation of the Lord. That is mantra. So the rishis, they have seen in their meditation how Krishna is going to kill Jarasandha. And those rishis have told those queens. So when their little children, their sons come in the lap of the mother crying, "Where's my papa? Where's my papa?" And then their mother say, "Don't worry," and they sing about how Krishna will kill Jarasandha and they'll all be free and they'll come home. Like this. So Gayanti te Vishadakama Griheshu Debyo. So then gopis are also like that. They're also singing about how Krishna is going to save them. That means that while all this Dwarka Leela is going on, Uddhavji is saying, back in Vrindavan, the gopis are thinking, "Oh Sakhi, do you remember that day when we were playing with Krishna at Govardhan? And Radha and Krishna, they sat down on a Ratnavedi. And just at that moment, Mukara, Radharani's grandmother, she came there and said, 'Oh, what's going on here? It's a scandal.' And Krishna immediately, he jumped up from the Ratnavedi and ran and he hid in the bushes. But at that time, Kamsa Maharaj had sent Shankachuda because he knew that Vishnu had appeared. Bhagavan had appeared as Krishna was trying to kill him, but Bhagavan appears with his Shakti, so he wanted to kidnap his Shaktis to enjoy for himself. So Kamsa Maharaj had sent Sankachuda to kidnap Radharani. So when Krishna went to hide, in the meantime Sankachuda was hiding in the bushes looking for an opportunity to kidnap Radharani. So at that time, when Krishna ran and hid, then Mukara, she told Lalita, catch him, this notorious boy. We'll have to bring him in front of the village council." Radharani said, "Oh grandmother, he tricked me. They were all playing innocent. It was Krishna's fault." So then Mukara, she's old and she can't see very well. So she was looking round in the bushes. "I'll find him myself." And she came to that bush where actually Shankachuda was hiding. And she said, "Aha! It's true what Purnamasi says. Purnamasi says that sometimes Krishna can have ferocious forms like Nrsimhadev. You can't fool me, Krishna." And she grabbed Shankachuda and pulled him out from the bushes. So then this ferocious Yaksha came out. The gopi said, "You blind old woman, that's not Krishna." And at once Shankachuda ran and he picked up the Ratnavedi, the throne upon which Radharani was sitting, and picking her up, and he was herding the gopis like you herd sheep, and he was taking them away. So then Krishna ran after him. So then he thought, "I can't move so fast," and he let all the gopis go, but he kept going with Radhika. And then Krishna told Balaram to take care of the gopis, and then Krishna was running, and then he saw Krishna is catching him. He put down the Ratnavedi with Radhika, and then Krishna, he caught Shankachuda, and he said to Shankachuda, "Today I am feeling great sorrow, great sadness, because I will be deprived of the happiness of torturing you forever." "How will I be deprived of the happiness of torturing you forever? I'm going to kill you right now." And then Krishna finished off Shankachuda. So then Krishna came back. Radharani was in a trauma. She was trembling like a leaf in the breeze. And then when Krishna came, Radhika, trembling, fell in the arms of Krishna. "Oh, my hero." And Krishna embraced Radhika. And he was thinking, "Good seva Sankachuda." Even after his demise, he's doing good seva for me. And even Mukara, she was all right. She was okay because Krishna saved the day. So the gopis, when now Krishna, he was in Dwarka, and gopis are in Vrindavan. Gayanti te vishadakama griheshu devyo. And they're singing about Krishna, saying, "Remember that day when Krishna saved us from Shankachuda?" So it must be that sometime very soon, Krishna will come back to Vrindavan and save us from the blazing fire of separation. So gopis are singing like this. So all over, Uddhav saying all over the world, everyone is singing your glories. The wives of Jarasandha are singing, gopis are singing, the sages are singing. Why do the sages sing with great joy? How Krishna has delivered the Gajendra from the crocodile, how Krishna has delivered Sita Devi, how he's delivered Vasudeva and Devaki. They sing this with great joy. Even today we're speaking about it with great joy. Why? Because the implication, the dhwani, the suggestion of the poetry is that Krishna saved all these persons who surrendered to him. So we are also surrendering to him, and he will surely save us from the ocean of material existence and bestow upon us the ecstatic privilege of service to direct service to his lotus feet. Bhale Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. You don't look so certain. No, it's a fact. Be sure. Utsaha Nistya Dharya. Nischay means it's certain. So, though we are now in this world and we may be struggling in so many ways, but we sing the glories how Krishna saved so many devotees on so many occasions with a great happiness that surely he will not miss me out. Because that's his nature. He's very kind to his devotees. So, when Uddhavji spoke this, he was doing something very subtle. What was he doing? He was trying to give a hint to Krishna. He was giving him the hint that if you go to Indraprastha, first you kill Jarasandha, and then you go to Indraprastha. Indraprastha is not so far away from Braja. And there the gopis are singing about you, so you can go back to Braja and see them. So Uddhav would not say that openly in front of the Yadu dynasty. So what he did was, he very cleverly made a list of all surrendered persons who've been saved by Krishna at different times in history, in different incarnations, and then he slipped the gopis in there, knowing that Krishna is very rasic, and he would catch the hint and think, yeah, okay, I'll go and save the kings, and I'll go to the Rajasuya Yagya, but Uddhav really knows why I'm going. The real reason I'm going back to Braj. So, you see, how clever is Uddhav, and how he knows the heart of Sri Krishna. Now, what is Uddhavji saying in this verse? He's speaking about the subject of the Ananya Sharana, the devotees who are Ananya Sharana, one-pointed surrendered to Krishna. So, Sharanagati, surrender, is the doorway to bhakti. If we are engaged in hearing, chanting, remembering, then this is not bhakti unless it's preceded by complete surrender. Prahlad Maharaj said, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bananam, Dasam Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, Iti Pumsa Arpita Vishnu, Bhaktischanna Valakshana, Kriyati Bhagavatidathan Manedidu Uttamam. I consider, it is my opinion, that person is the most learned person who, after Pumsarpita, completely surrendering himself at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, then he engages in Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, etc. Because there has to be connection, there has to be relationship. Without surrendering to Krishna, and conditioned souls, they cannot see Krishna in this world, they can't understand anything about Krishna. So, Guru Krishna Rupa Hoya Shastra Pramane, Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karin Bhaktigani. Krishna has a special form that we can see, and the form that distributes mercy to the living entities, that is called Gurudev. So first, the living entity surrenders fully at the lotus feet of Gurudev by body, mind and words. And then when they begin to hear, chant and remember, then they can experience what is Uttama Bhakti, actual Bhakti. Bhakti is not a karma, it's not an activity performed by the karan. Karma is activity done by karan, the senses, the instruments of the senses. Bhakti is not that, a karma, an activity performed by the instruments of the senses. Bhakti is the vilas of Swarup Shakti. It is the play of Krishna's internal potency. And when we engage our senses in hearing and chanting, after surrendering to Gurudev, then that Swarup Shakti comes and plays on our senses in the form of hearing. Now Krishna's internal potency is dancing in the ear when we hear Krishna's pastimes. When we chant the holy name, now holy name is dancing on the tongue. When we remember, material mind cannot think of Krishna, the Swarup Shakti has to come in the mind and manifest the remembrance of Krishna. So bhakti is completely transcendental. But so if one engages in hearing, chanting and remembering, but without surrendering, then it will be like a worldly activity even. Therefore he says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahat Kripa Bina Kaun Karma Bhakti Nai. Krishna Bhakti Duri Rahe Sangsar Nahikshay. Without the blessing, without the mercy of Mahat, a great soul, any activity that you do will not be bhakti. What to speak of being bhakti? You will not be able to even loosen the grip of worldly bondage. Sangsar Nahikshay. The material existence will not even diminish. So first thing, surrender. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his songbook, Sharanagati, has described the details of surrender. There he said, Atmani Vedana Tuya Pade Kori Hoinu Parama Sukhi Duka Dure Galo Chintana Rohilo Chorike Ananda Deki. Oh my Lord, since that moment I surrendered my heart fully at your lotus feet, I have become completely happy. Often Gurudev would just come to devotees and say, are you happy? It seems like a strange question. But what he means is, have you surrendered to Krishna and therefore you have no stress and no anxiety in your life? When we give our heart to Krishna completely, then where is stress, where is anxiety, where is lamentation? Ashoka avaya amrita adhara tomara charana dvaya. Oh Krishna, your lotus feet are a reservoir of joy wherein there is no lamentation and there is no fear. There is only nectar. So see, Krishna, he is our best friend. He is everywhere. He is in control of everything. And he is very kind to those who take shelter of him. In fact, Uddhavji here is saying, Krishna gives himself to that person who is fully surrendered to him. So what is there to worry about? So if we feel anxiety, if we feel lamentation, if we feel stress, if we're not blissful all the time, what does it mean? We have a pritag drisha. That means a vision, separate vision. Pritag bhav. I'm separate from Krishna. Krishna's over there somewhere, I'm over here somewhere. Krishna's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. On Sunday I'll do his thing, but on Monday I'm going to do my thing. This is called pritag drisha. Just the vision, pritag drisha or pritag bhav, the mood that I'm separate from Krishna. What is separate from Krishna? Nothing is separate from Krishna. Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam yat jnanamadvayam. The truth is advaya. There's no duality at all. There's a speciality, there's a variety. Achincha beda beda tattva. We are inconceivably non-different, different and non-different from Krishna. But our existence in every moment, we are never separated from him. Actually, only separated in our mind by the influence of Maya. Bhagavatam gives the example, just like small insects are living inside a fruit. You know, if you have a big watermelon and there's some insects living inside there, they're never separated from that fruit. So in the same way, we are never separated from Krishna. Vasudeva sarvaniti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha, Krishna is everywhere, Krishna is everything. So, we are in the embrace of our beloved, but we forget. And so then we feel so much suffering. Srila Prabhupada gave the example of there's a cat, and the cat carries a rat in his teeth and also carries a kitten in his teeth. So when the rat is in the teeth of the cat, then he's terrified. But when the cat wants to move her kitten, she picks them up with her teeth and carries them and puts them so, and the kitten is very happy. So, if we feel that fear in this material world, then we're like the rat. Because the rat is against the cat. But if we surrender to Krishna, then we're like the kitten. And then life is very nice, very sweet, always. So, but there's some condition. How can that consciousness be there? Only when we respect every living entity, acknowledging the presence of Krishna in the heart of everyone. Mahaprabhu said, Jive saman divi jani Krishna adishtahan. The Vaishnava gives honor to every living being because they have awareness. Krishna is in your heart, in your heart, in your heart, in your heart. So if we criticize, we disrespect anyone, then Krishna will disappear also. Because we're not seeing Krishna is present in this person. So, Ananya Sharaneshu, Dasasva Ananya Sharaneshu. Ujjaji is saying that it's not surprising that Krishna, Yadatma Sattvam, he gives himself to the devotees who are surrendered to him. Yad Atma Sattvam. It's a beautiful word. Have you seen this word somewhere before? Atmasat? Atmasat. You know who is a Gaudiya Vaishnava? 18 Thakur Gaudiyaki Gaudiyache Karinachen Atmasat. 18 Chanda Bando Tinemuranat. Srila Krishna's Kaviraj in the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He said, who is a Gaudiya Vaishnava? That person who is the Atmasat. They have made the Govinda, Gopinath and Madan Mohan, these three Thakurs, their life and soul. That means Krishna in the form of Madan Mohan Sambandha, and then Abhideya, Adhishtatri Devata Govinda, and then Prayojan. Those who approach the transcendental world see Krishna through the principles of Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojan, manifested in the form of their relationship with Madan Mohan, Govinda and Gopinath. And they have given their heart completely to those three deities. They are called Gaudiyas. There's another song, you know, Shakti Buddhihin Ami Atidhin Koramore Atmasat. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, Gurudev Kripa Binduti in this song, O Gurudev, Kabi Hain O Kripa Lavya Ejan Kritata Hoy Vinat. My Lord, when will that day come when you will bestow your mercy upon me and my life will become successful? I have no intelligence and I have no power of my own. O Gurudev, Korumore Atmasat, make me Atmasat. So Atmasat, it has many meanings. It means dependent upon you, subordinate to you, that my heart will be one with your heart, and also that I will pervade your heart as well. When someone has devotion, the person to whom they're devoted, then they pervade that person's heart. So this is the meaning, the four meanings of Atmasat. To be fully dependent on that person, to be completely subordinate to that person, to be one in heart with that person, and to pervade their heart due to your loving service. That is called Atmasat. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, Gurudev, by myself, you make me Atmasat. Very beautiful. So here Uddhava is saying, Krishna is like that too. That when the devotees are Ananya Sharanya, they one-pointedly surrender to him, then Krishna becomes Atmasat to the devotee. He's saying that Krishna becomes dependent on the devotee. Krishna becomes subordinate to the devotee. Krishna's heart becomes one with the devotee's heart. So beautiful, because that's his nature. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has said, Yeyatamam prapadyante tangstataiva bhajami. As they surrender to me, I reciprocate with them in kind. Shukadeva Goswami also, he says, Malanam asanirinam naravarao srinam smaro murtimam gopanam swajado satam shitibhujam shastam swapitro shishu mitro bojapate virara vidusho tatvam param yoginam vrishninam paradevateti vidito rangam gatha sagraja. Shukadeva Goswami is saying, when Sri Krishna entered into the wrestling arena of Kamsa Maharaj, at that time, Balanam, Masariyaninam, the wrestlers who were there, they saw Krishna, though Krishna's body is as soft as butter, they saw him as hard as a thunderbolt. That's what he is, a formidable enemy we have to fight with now. Narabara, and the men there, they saw Krishna, thought, he's the best of males. Then the ladies there, Strinam Smaromurtimam, when they saw Krishna, the Cupid, the god of love, has appeared right before our eyes. Gopanam Swajano, the cowherd people who had come from Braj, now they're in the big city, in the big stadium, thousands of people are there, and Krishna's going onto the stage. They would think, he's our family member. Swajano. And the demonic kings who were there, they saw him, that Krishna had come like a rod of chastisement. So Pitro Shishu, his parents thought, oh, he's just a little baby. He's just a little child. Kamsa Maharaj looked at Krishna and thought, Mritya, he's like death personified. The materialistic persons, they were disgusted seeing Krishna because he was covered in spots of blood and perspiration because he'd just beaten the elephant to death with his own tusk. And they were disgusted. And the yogis who were there, rishis, they looked at with half-closed eyes in meditation. Oh, Krishna is a param tattva. And the Vrishni dynasty, Yadu dynasty, they thought he's Devata, he's Bhagavan, but he's appeared in our dynasty, he's merciful to the Yadus, like this. And everyone's seeing Krishna in a different way. That means Krishna's reciprocating with everyone in a different way, in proportion to their mood, in proportion to their surrender. So this is, Uddhavji here is actually trying to incite us to surrender. He's speaking about the features and the benefits of surrender. It's quite wonderful. In the verses before this, Uddhavji has just been hearing from Krishna about the path of Jnana and Yoga Sadhana. Then Uddhavji, he said, Krishna, this process, this path is difficult, it's very hard. Many persons have tried it, and after a long time they still can't control their minds, and they become just trying to attain samadhi by the process of Jnana and the process of Yoga Sadhana. They become exhausted and they lose their enthusiasm. Therefore, those who are hamsas, those who have discrimination like a swan, who can separate milk from the water, they don't do Jnana Yoga, they don't do Yoga Sadhana. What do? Shanagati. They just take shelter of Krishna. Because by taking shelter of Krishna, Krishna reciprocates. And they depend on Krishna's mercy, on Krishna's power, they become fully dependent on him. But those yogis and those jnanis, they're proud. Whatever achievements they have in Jnana, whatever achievements they have in Yoga Sadhana, I did it. They're depending on themselves. So after a long, long time, they just cannot get out of Maya. They always get caught in the snare of Maya. But your devotees then, Buddha is speaking this verse and saying, Dasya sanesha saraneshu yadatma sattvam. Those who surrender to you, oh, Krishna, you give yourself to them. That's an incentive, right, to surrender. Someone says, if I surrender, then what will happen? Who will pay the bills? Maybe I'll suffer. What about my ambitions and dreams? No. Buddha is saying that Krishna, he fulfills all the desires of his devotees and he gives himself completely. So what kind of foolish person would not surrender to him? What kind of foolish... You want something? Okay, Krishna will give it to you. But if you chase after it yourself and forget Krishna, it will be a disaster. And if you surrender fully to Krishna without worrying about those things, anyway, Krishna will give, and then he'll make the desire go away, and then he'll give himself even. The desires are coming out from the heart. Krishna will get his lotus foot and block it, they won't come out anymore. He'll put his feet on the heart. No desires can come out anymore. So, this is Krishna's nature. In Gita, Krishna said, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti paratam ashtami prayatatmana. That means Krishna is ready and waiting to accept the service even of an ordinary devotee. If you give me a leaf, a fruit, a flower or some water, with a pure heart, I accept it. So what to speak of those who are in Raga Marg, who are following the path of Rag, who they don't, in their relationship with Krishna, they don't see Krishna as Bhagavan. They know the Tattva, Krishna is Bhagavan, but in their internal emotional cultivation, that's Aishwarya is not a part of it. So then, that is extremely powerful. Because Krishna is reciprocating. So if you think Krishna is just the son of Nanda and Yashoda, then what happens? One of Krishna's qualities is called Lalana Icha. Lalana Icha. Lalana means pampering. Krishna wants you to pamper him. Lalana Icha. Krishna likes it when his devotees pamper him. So that is revealed by Shukadeva Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam. He said, Kvachit pallavatalpeshu niyudasramakarshitaha abriksha moolasraye sete goput sangupabahanaha. Krishna had been playing in the forest with his friends, wrestling, singing, dancing, climbing trees, stick fighting. So many games they played together. You know, one time, his friends, they were there, they had slingshots, and they saw this tree and they had some fruits on the tree. So they got their slingshots but they just couldn't get the fruit to fall down. So then, Vatsasura came, you know, and he was disguised as a calf. And Krishna, he grabbed him and he threw him at the tree. And he died, but then all the fruits fell down and then all the boys picked them up. So Krishna's like that. He sees what his friends are doing, he tries to take care of them. But he also likes himself to be pampered. Krishna's pampering his devotees and he likes to be pampered by his devotees. So Kvachit Talpeshu, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, after playing for so long, Krishna was a bit tired. So his friends, they made some nice beds of soft leaves and flower petals. And actually they made beds here, so many of them. And they invited Krishna, come and lie down. So Krishna came and he lay down at the root of a tree. But for the pillow, Gopat Sangupabahana, means one boy sat and took Krishna's head in his lap. So the lap of the boy became his pillow. Then another boy came and was massaging Krishna's feet. Another boy came and with the palm leaves and was fanning him and making a nice breeze. Some other boys, they were singing some songs and Krishna is being pampered by his devotees. He loves that. This is called Lalana Icha. So, as soon as the devotee, he's no longer striving to have knowledge of Krishna's opulence and he's following in the footsteps of the residents of Vrindavan. And one says, oh, Nanda Nandan, Yashoda Nandan, son of Yashoda. Then Krishna, his Lalana Icha comes. Oh, I want to be pampered by you. Can you give me a massage? Can you do my snan, bathe me, decorate me with chandan? Like this. This is Krishna's nature. Gopi bisto bito nityad bhagavan balavat kvachit udgayati kvachin mugdas tadvaso daruyantravat. Shukadeva Goswami said, when Krishna is a little boy, then the gopis are coming with some buttermilk. Oh, I'll give you some buttermilk if you will dance for me. And Krishna, tadvaso daruyantravat, he's like a puppet in their hands. Completely. They tell him sing a song, and Krishna sings a song for them, and then he drinks some buttermilk from their hand. So Krishna is, the two main qualities of Krishna is prema vasyata, being controlled by love, and bhakta vatsalata, that he's very affectionate to his devotees. Now someone may say, if Krishna yadatma sattvam, he becomes dependent, he becomes subordinate, he gives his heart fully, then his status as Bhagavan is diminished. But that's not true. That's not a fact. Because he reciprocates emotionally with his devotees in a loving way, but his status as Bhagavan remains intact, but he shows his opulence in another way, not in the relationship. For example, when the boy said, oh, come and lie down, I made this bed of flowers, actually hundreds of boys are made bed everywhere, and they all invited him, and Krishna said yes. So he expanded himself into hundreds of forms, and he went and he lay down on all the beds of flowers everywhere, and different groups of boys were serving him at the same time. So on the one hand, he's completely helpless, and he needs to be pampered, and he's get tired, he needs a massage, in relation to his devotees. But at the same time, his opulence of Bhagavan is still manifested, but in another way, that he doesn't interfere with them. Just like Mother Yashoda. She saw Krishna's very naughty, he's smashed my yogurt pot and made a big mess in my kitchen. And I chastised him, and he threatened to run away. So I have to tie him up. So then Mother Yashoda, she bound him with a rope. And he couldn't get out. But when he was bound with that rope, what did he do? He pulled down two Yamalajuna trees, he liberated them, he gave them prey. Who can do this? Only Bhagavan can do this. But at the same time, he still couldn't get up from the rope. So after this incident, Shukadeva Goswami is glorifying Mother Yashoda. He's glorifying this Leela, but he never says, oh, look how wonderful Krishna is, he pulled down the Yamalajuna trees. What does he say? Traya chopari chadvischa sattva sankhya yogaya chasatvatai upagiyamana mahatmyam harim samanya tatmajam. Even though the Vedas, Samaveda, Rigveda, Yajurveda glorify Krishna, the Upanishads are glorifying Krishna, the Sankhya Darshan is meant to search out Krishna, Yoga is ultimately meant to find Krishna, all the Sattva Tatantra scriptures are glorifying Krishna continuously. But Harim Samanya Tatmajam, Mother Yasoda thought, he was born from my womb. He's my natural born child. So this is the glory. Nanda Kimmakra Brahman Srayameva Mahodayam Yashodava Mahabhaga Papo Yasyastanam Hari. What did Mother Yashoda do? That the Supreme Personality of Godhead gets hungry and says, Mama, I want to drink your milk. And she's feeding him. So this is what Uddhavji is glorifying here. He's saying, look everyone, surrender to Krishna. Because when you surrender to Krishna, Krishna, he surrenders to you. Dasveshananya sarneshu yadatta sattam yarochat samrigaswam iswaranam. Brahmaji, he saw when he visited Dwarka, millions of Brahmas and Shivas and others all bowing down at the feet of Krishna, and when the tips of the crowns touched his footstool, made a tumultuous sound. But that Krishna in Vrindavan, Yarochat Samrigaswam Ishwaranam, he's finding happiness, just playing with the birds. Krishna takes a parrot and strokes the parrot and teaches the parrot to sing. Even Radha and Krishna, when they're wandering through the forest, They experience Adbhut Ras because they see so many trees and flowers and birds and animals they've never seen in their life. All the time, new things. They feel Adbhut Rasa. And Radha Krishna sit down and they teach the parrot's son, and they feel Vatsalya Ras towards a parrot, just like a guru teaching a student to recite shlokas. So Krishna finds great pleasure in the animals. Gopis say, Darshaniyo tilak ko banmala divya gandha tulak si madhumatai ahadikularal gugitam abhistam atriyanyahi sanditavenu. In the daytime, gopis are in their homes. Radharani is burning in separation, like in husk fire, slowly burning in separation. She tells one Sakhi, oh, go and see, find out what Krishna is doing. So that Sakhi sets off into the forest. After some time, she's coming back to Radhika. Radhika is very eager to know, what's Krishna doing? Darshaniya tilako banumala. He said, oh, you have to see Krishna now. He looks so good. He's Darshaniya. You have to see him. Now, how is he? Tilako banumala. He's wearing a very beautiful tilak and a garland of flowers. Banumala means all the way down to his feet and with leaves in it as well. Why? Because he was very hot from playing in the forest and he went to a waterfall. So then Krishna, he was playing in that waterfall. And then he's come out from the waterfall and he took some minerals and he made his own tilak and put on a banamala, and he's kind of sunbathing on a rock next to the waterfall. And his hair is still wet and he's just drying. And he looks so beautiful. Actually, the inner meaning of this verse, Vishnu Thakur says that the Sakhi is actually saying to Radharani, he just came out from the waterfall. He's only wearing tilak and a banamala. So she's saying, Darshaniyo, you have to see Krishna right now. And then Krishna, he takes his flute. And he's about to play. But he's thinking, what pitch should I play in? And then some bumblebees come. So they're singing Krishna's favorite pitch, Panchamarag, the fifth note. Sarigama pa pa. So then Krishna, he's thinking, what note shall I play? And then the bumblebees come. And they go, and then Krishna, he smiles, oh, thank you, bumblebees. Adrianyani means he shows respects to them. And then he begins to play, accompanied by the tampur, by the drone of the singing of the bumblebees. So Uddhavji is saying here, Ya rochat samaiga swayam ishvarana. It's not surprising that Krishna completely gives himself to his surrendered devotees. When Krishna is so soft, he's so sweet, in Vrindavan, he's just taking pleasure playing with bumblebees. The Brahmanas, they do yagyas for thousands of years, swaha, swaha, but Krishna never appears in their yagya. But in Vrindavan, without any invitation, he's a burglar. He breaks into the neighbors' houses to steal their butter. Uninvited he goes there. The yogis are meditating and chanting mantra, but Krishna never replies to them. They don't hear any reply. Lord Brahma and all the demigods came on the shore of the ocean milk. They were praying Purusha Sukta. What happened? Crickets. Nothing. But in Vrindavan, when the cow is far away, little lost in the forest, and the cow is calling, then Krishna immediately replies, oh Davali, oh Shamali, I'm coming, I'm coming. This is Krishna in Vrindavan. So Uddhavji is saying, Kim Chitram Vachuta Tavaida, Ashesha Bandhu. Krishna is Ashesha Bandhu. He's the friend of everyone. Not just the devotees, even the demons. Kaliya poisoned the Kaliya rat, and all Krishna's friends fainted as if dead. And what did Krishna do? He brought his friends back to life by the amrit and the nectar of his glands, and he kept his lotus feet on the head of Kaliya. The wives of Kaliya couldn't believe it. Kasyana bhavusya nadeva vidvahe dvangarenums parashadikaraha yadvancha shilalanacha tapo vihayakam chiram dadavrataha. Even Lakshmi Devi did not get Krishna's foot dust. So what did this evil snake do? To get the footprints of Krishna on his head, it's inconceivable. And Krishna was so merciful to Kaliya that in the end Kaliya offered prayers to Krishna and he said, alright, I have to go now, but in the future, anytime you need to go anywhere, and it's weekend, the Garuda has a day off, then just call me, and I'll appear there at the speed of mind, and I'll take you wherever you want to go. Like that. So even Kaliya became so humble and surrendered and in the mood of Krishna's servant. So Krishna, he's a Shesha Bandhu, that means his friendship is unlimited, it has no end. He's a friend to everyone. So, Kim Chitram Achuta Tavaita, the Shesha. What's surprising that Krishna gives himself fully to his devotee. He can't live without his devotee. Ham bhakta pradi no hyashvatanta vivaduja. Krishna said, I am not independent. When even he's kind even to the demons, and when he takes pleasure in playing with the cows, with the bumblebees, and all the demigods they bow down to him, he never cares for that. He cares only for the bhakti. This is Krishna's character, Krishna's beautiful, beautiful nature. So, dasvesha seshu sharneshu yadatma sattvam. When Indra was smashing Brajmandal with the heavy rain, at that time Krishna saw how everyone was afraid. He said, Tasman matsarnam gostam mannatat mat parigram. They have taken shelter of me. They are my family members. Swatma yoga, gopaye swatma yogena soyam te brata ahita. So I must protect them. That is my brat. That is my promise. So all devotees, don't worry about anything. Krishna has made a promise. Surrender fully your whole life, body, mind and words, 24 hours a day, to Sri Krishna. And Krishna will manage everything perfectly, beyond any expectation. How the Brijbasis are surrendered to Krishna. Shukadeva Goswami said, Tan naga bhoga parinitam adrishta chestam alokya tatpriya sakar pashupa adrishta Krishnapit Atma Suridartha Kalatra Kama Dukanu Shoka Vayamudha Dhyani Petuhu. The Brijbasis saw comets in the sky. There were tremors in the earth. They knew these are inauspicious omens. Something must have happened to Krishna. They dropped everything. They came from their homes and gradually they came to the bank of Jamuna. And there they saw Krishna. Tannaga Bhoga Pari Vitam Adrishta Cheshtam. Adrishta Cheshtam means they couldn't see any movement. Krishna was wrapped up in the coils of Kaliya. They could see him, but he wasn't moving. What does that mean? So then they feared for the worst. And at that moment, Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Krishnapit Atma. They have given their Atma to Krishna. Krishnapit Atma Surida. They only his well wishes. They just wish well for him all the time. Artha, all their wealth. Kalatra, Kama, their family members, their wives, their homes, all their desires. Everything rests fully in Krishna. This is called Ananya Sharaneshu. Those who are fully surrendered. So because they were fully surrendered to him, then seeing him just not even moving a finger in the coils of Kaliya, then the Dukanu Shoka Bhayamudha, they began to lament. They were overwhelmed with grief. They were overwhelmed with fear. They became completely bewildered. They couldn't move. and then they fainted and fell to the ground. Here it says, Tat Priya Sakha, his dear friends, and the more elderly gopis. Gopis were not there yet. Gopis had not come yet. See, Krishna was peeping out through the coils and he was looking. The gopis here yet? So he wasn't moving. And everyone was on the bank, they were dying in separation, suffering, fainting, falling to the ground. Krishna was peeping through the coils. Then when he saw the gopis arrive, okay, now I'll break out. No need to show my strength in front of everyone. And when the gopis come, then I'll break out and show them how strong I am. And I'll dance on Kaliya's head. It's like an invitation. Just see how I dance. Can you dance like me? Show me. So Krishna's only 6 years old then. But already his Purvarag, his awakening of love is coming for the Braja Gopis. But here the point is that Sukadeva Goswami is describing what it means, Tasvesanesha Sharaneshu, that the servants are completely surrendered. Krishna Pitatma Suridata Kalatra Kama. Their bodies, their minds, their words, their wealth, their homes, their family members, and all of their desires they've given to Krishna. And so, then they're overwhelmed with ecstatic emotion. Krishna's Leela is a very wonderful thing. Because Krishna's Param Tattva, he's the absolute truth. There's no duality. So all Krishna's Dham and his associates are his Vaibhav. So when Krishna's in every situation, then all the waves of emotions are coming through all the Brijbasis. He's the center of everything, and they feel everything he's feeling. So in the same way, when in this life we come to Gurudev and surrender, and then we participate in the kirtan of Shri Guru, now we become connected, and that Advaya Gyan Tattva, that consciousness becomes aware of that oneness, where everything that Krishna does, or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does, it sends waves of emotion through us. Dasesananya sarnesu yad atma sattvam. Uddhavji, he's speaking this, he has himself experience of how Krishna reciprocates with him. We mentioned before that Uddhav had told Krishna, yes, you go to Jarasandha first and Indraprastha afterwards. What happened that time? Krishna went to the Rajasura Jagya, but the news came to Braja that Krishna was there in Indraprastha. So then all the residents of Braja, they became so ecstatic. They thought Indraprastha is not so far away. So, and if Krishna from there is going back to Dwarka, you'll have to go on a road that goes through Braja. So Nanda Maharaj, Madhya Yashoda, all Brijbasis, they left Nandagaon and they came with bullock carts and they put their bullock carts on each side of the road, which is the way going from Indraprastha on the way to Dwarka. And it's on Vrindavan is one side, then you have Jamuna, and on the other side, opposite Mathura, is the place called Lohavan, the forest. So there's a village there called Gorai. We go there. Usually when we do Brajmanda Parikrama, we start in the birthplace of Krishna and we end in Gorai, because something special lila takes place, we will describe now. So all Brijbasis were waiting there, and they were thinking, when Krishna comes back from Indraprastha, he will have to come this way, and they were waiting to see him. But what happened? Shalva attacked Dwarka, and then after killing Shalva, then Krishna came to Mathura and he killed Dantavakra and with his club, and then Vidurata attacked to take revenge, and Krishna killed Vidurata with his chakra. And after killing Vidurata with his chakra, Krishna put down his weapons. That's it. No more fighting. No more killing. Whole Leela. You see? Only one slight exception. That was in the battle of Kurukshetra. It wasn't really a weapon, it was a broken chariot wheel. But he only did that because he's Atmasattvam, he's given his heart to Bhishma Dev. And he wanted to break his own word for the sake of keeping the words of Bhishma. But when Krishna killed Vidurata with his chakra, that's it, no more weapon, not killing anyone. That's it, no more. Any other demons will be killed, then it will have to be the Yadubara Parishad Swador Virasyanda Dharmam through his limbs, through Arjun, through Bhimsen, through Yudhishthira Maharaj, through Abhimanyu, through his others. He'll kill the demons, but not himself personally. So he put it down. And then he inquired from the local Brajvasis there, because actually Mathura, the city, was deserted. Because all the residents of Mathura, he transferred them to Dwarka in the night, right? But there were some rural people, and he asked them, "Oh, what's the news of Braj?" And they told him, "Krishna, just across the Jamuna from Mathura, there in Lohavan, all Brajvasis are waiting for you to come." So then Krishna very happily got onto his chariot and he crossed the Jamuna. There are places where Jamuna is not deep. And he crossed the Jamuna and he came there to Lohavan. He was blowing his conch. And Brajvasis saw the dust rising from his chariot. And they wondered, who is that? Who could it be? And they saw a flag sticking out of the dust. And on the flag was Hanuman. No, that would have been Arjun. Was Garuda. So Garuda was on the flag. Then they realized it's Krishna. And the Brajvasis, they were running. They were running towards Krishna. But as they were running towards him, after such long time of separation, then they felt such ecstasy, they became stunned, and they couldn't move. And so Krishna stopped his chariot, and the Brajvasis were standing in the distance, and they couldn't move. So then Krishna jumped down from his chariot, and Krishna ran. Krishna's coming home. And Krishna ran to them, and as he ran to them, it was completely sweet. But though he was completely sweet, but he maintained his Bhagavata in the sense that he expanded into thousands of forms, and he ran to each and every one of them, into the arms of each and every Brajvasi, and embraced them at the same time. And when they embraced Krishna, they were in such bliss, they couldn't even remember, am I Krishna or is he Krishna? And they fainted. So then after some time, Purnamasi came there with Madhu Mangala and Brinda Devi. And Purnamasi, she's older and authority in Braj. She started chastising everyone. Can't you see, he came a long way and he's tired. You have to take care of him. But they were all stunned, they couldn't move. And she was. So then they began to, Krishna has a lal and an icha, the desire to be pampered by his devotees. And that's why he appears as Thakurji. You see, Thakurji can sing, Thakurji can dance, he can do everything. He can dress himself, he can cook himself as well. But he stands on the altar. You have to do everything, I'm not moving. He can do everything. But he's not moving, why? He wants a lalana. He wants you to pamper him. So then the Brajvasis, they began to pamper him and everyone was in great bliss. But there was something still hurting them. What was that? They were looking at the chariot. And then Krishna realized, they're thinking, I came and my chariot's there. After a little time, I'm going to get on the chariot, I'm going to leave them. So Krishna reassured them, he said, don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. This chariot is for me to serve you, it's for your service. And then Krishna, he reassured them, and to prove them, he said, that's it now, I'm staying here. But something's missing. You know what's missing? Balaram and Rohini, right? Because they're still in Dwarka. So Krishna told his chariot driver, Daruka, at once go to Dwarka. At once. And bring Rohini here. And bring my brother Balaram here. So then Daruka went and he got on the chariot, he was about to pull away. And Krishna said, oh, wait, one more thing. Bring Uddhav as well. Oh. Bring Uddhav as well. So then Daruka, he went as fast as the wind in half a muhurta. How long is half a muhurta?
Half of a muhurta? 24 minutes.
Correct. So 12 minutes there, 12 minutes back. Daruka came back, pulled up in the chariot. Balaram got down, Rohini got down, and they're all welcomed by the Brajvasis, and Uddhav came there. Yeah. And Krishna performed beautiful pastimes for a few months. And then Nanda Maharaj said to him, do something that my dear friend Vasudev, my brother, his cousin brother, that he'll be satisfied. So then Krishna, he expanded himself, and in one form he got on the chariot and he went back to Dwarka. So you can understand actually back there, though Darukar had bored Uddhav and Balaram and Rohini, but actually in another form they were still there. Right? So that Dwarka Leela can go on. So in one form Krishna went back there, in another form Krishna told all Brajbasis, oh, get on my chariot. So his chariot expanded and they all got on, because they're on the other side of Yamuna, not the Vrindavan side. So let's go back to Nandagaon. So they all got on the chariot, Uddhav as well, and as they were crossing the Jamuna, as the chariot was going across the Jamuna, all Brajbasis, their eyes blinked at the same time. And at that moment, if you were there, then you would see everyone disappear. In other words, in that moment they blinked, everyone went into apricot Leela. They didn't know anything. They themselves didn't know anything. But from the perspective of a person in this world, then the Braj Leela became apricot, Dwarka Leela is still going on. And then when Krishna wound up the Dwarka Leela, and Uddhav is speaking this verse to Krishna. Uddhav is speaking this verse to Krishna. But that is the expansion of Uddhav, because Krishna, Dasai Sananya Sarneshu Yadatma Sattvam, Krishna is completely controlled by the love of his devotees. And so Krishna arranged that in another form, Uddhav went on that chariot with him across Jamuna and went in the apricot Leela, and he's there in the Vrindavan with Krishna. And then Krishna was playing there, and Uddhav, he took off because he's dressed like a Yadubangsi, like a Kshatriya, put on a pagri, put on a turban, and he goes and he's hanging out with Krishna Sakas in Vrindavan, and he's very happy. So this is Krishna, Ashesha Bandhu, the unlimited best friend of everyone. Who would not surrender to such a person? Anything else that you do is like suicide actually. And whatever you want, you will get by surrendering to Krishna anyway. So there's no loss. And in the end, Krishna takes away all desires and gives pure bhakti and gives himself. Bale Vrindavan Lal ki jai, Bale Sanwali ki jai, Jai Jai Sri Ram. If Krishna is so surrendered to Uddhav, if Krishna is so surrendered to the bumblebees, if Krishna is so surrendered to the cows, then how is Krishna surrendered to Brajagopis? So by Kaimutik Nyaya, by the logic of Kimuta, how much more? How is Krishna, Atma Sattva, surrendered to Radha? So that is Krishna in his sweetest and most beautiful feature, Radharana.